We are here in Ica, Peru, about 200 miles south of Lima. There are big lines scraped in a desert that you cannot see on the ground. You have to get thousands of feet up into the air before you can see them. There are also human remains that have been really deformed, or it could be another species. Come with us as we attempt to make sense out of these mysteries.
I'm in the Regional Museum of Ica. In here, there are a bunch of remains of ancient people. These are what's called conehead skulls. Some of them you can see evidence of them being clothed and their skulls being deformed. Others were naturally that way, and nobody knows why.
Here in the Ica Museum, mummies like this have been preserved because there has been no rain in this desert in recorded history. So, since it never rained, then the mummies get preserved so scientists can study them.
As we were walking around in this museum, we saw this picture of some Nazca Lines, and we noticed that this monkey is different from the rest. This monkey is not nearly as skillfully drawn as all these other pictures in the Nazca Lines. This is Dr. Cabrera's museum, private museum. And inside, there are lots of rocks, but we don't know who carved them. This is where my father, Jorge de Cabrera, lived. He studied these rocks for more than 70 years. He collected more than 1,000 rocks. If you want to know about his findings, he wrote a book, La Mensaje de las Piedras Grabadas de Inca, the message of the engraved rocks of Inca, where he tells of his theories.
Okay, now, why did they leave the stones?
Because this civilization now is going to be a catastrophe, a cataclysm. And they want to leave us this advance of knowledge. And they use the stone because resist. Only one is life,
So-
health, energy.
The leaf means life.
Yes. And a lot of leaf means civilization. The message of this song is this means knowledge are looking by a telescope the cosmos because those are the constellations. And this is a symbol. They know that genetic. They are going to cut the tail of this animal. Genetic.
So this is like the symbol of DNA
Yes. And operation.
and an operation.
Genetic, experiment, genetic. Here. The pyramids, because they capture the energy by a technology with pyramids. Around
Spaceport. So Nazca was a spaceport.
yes.
And these ships like this
Found in Nazca,
are found in Nazca.
in the same place of the lines. And my father say are not coincidence.
So what you're saying then is that the aliens used the magnetism in the Nazca Lines to guide their ships. So, okay, let me get this straight. So you're saying that this stone here shows a map of
Continents.
continents, and the squiggly lines around going around it indicate the water, but the water is not like normal. It's like water like before some kind of a catastrophe.
Yes.
This person here is actually being anesthetized. That's
Yes.
a gas that they're giving to the patient. And if you look at the whole thing, you'll see that they're actually going to be giving this person a cesarean section. Notice here, there's the baby. The baby can't get out. And so they're in the process, you can see the scalpel there. They're about ready to give this person a C-section to get the baby out. They've developed the gas to put her to sleep. And very, very, very advanced society that's capable of doing a lot of stuff. Now, this woman here, they're actually giving her the anesthetic for her C-section through acupuncture.
Ellos querían dejarnos
They wanted to leave us all the advances they had so that we could cure illnesses and perform organ transplants with success. This stone here is a very, very fascinating stone. It actually shows a doctor who is operating on a patient and cutting open his skull. If you move over to here, and you'll see that they're taking the brain out of the skull, and then over here you'll see the brain connected to some kind of an instrument. We're not sure what that instrument is, but somehow it's connected to that instrument, and they believe that that instrument is actually able to keep the brain alive. There must be one of the lines right on the other side of these hills here. We've been seeing lots and lots of these small planes coming through, circling around, circling again. They stay in this area for a good couple of minutes, and then they move on to somewhere else. Funny thing is, we can't see a thing from here. Apparently the lines are out here on this plain. I see nothing except sand and dirt, but if you get up in the airplane, apparently the lines all of a sudden start to appear. Apparently from up in this tower, we're going to be able to see a couple of lines. Climb way up to the top and you'll see a couple. We'll see what happens. Right here, I'm looking at the tree. I'm about 10 feet off the ground at this point, and I can see that there are some lines, but I can't tell from this angle what the design is, what shape they're ultimately in.
We're in this tower right now. Nazca Lines are right behind me. This tower was built. The maximum is 10 people, but I think it can stand more than that. But as you can see, there are lines all around. They're smaller than I expected, but they're still really weird.
What I find absolutely amazing about these lines is that each trench, each line there, is only about 5 centimeters deep and about 20 centimeters wide. And yet they've remained here for nobody really knows how long.